The Great Recession really shook people up. Millions lost jobs and had to seek interim unemployment benefits, while still others were lucky enough to keep their jobs, but at reduced pay. The collapse of 2008 reminded us that the economy can be fickle. The decisions of a very small group of people can have a profound impact on our country and even the world. But we made progress since then, and the economy is finally starting to show signs of life. Because the general public is beginning to believe stability is coming, government officials are confident in prolonged stability, and Wall Street analysts are seeing signs of economic stability, we can be sure that economic, at least short-term, stability is just around the corner. According to Gallup polling done in early November of 2014, which are the most recent results available, Gallup's U.S. Economic Confidence Index, which is reported as a 3-day rolling average, a telephone survey of approximately 1,500 U.S. adults, with a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points, combines economic conditions survey results with economic outlook measures. The great news is that this index has been relatively stable for almost in the entire year. This indicates that the general public has confidence that the economy is not getting any worse more quickly. Additionally, in the most recent 2 months, it has even increased, which shows growing confidence in recovery and stability by the public. But the public isn't the only group that thinks the economy is getting better. PBS correspondent Gwen Ifill conducted an interview with United States Treasury Secretary Jack Lew and Budget Director Sean Donovan. According to those two individuals, the deficit for the U.S. government spending has declined to $483 billion, or just 0.8% of the budget. This is the lowest the deficit has been since 2007, and it indicates an almost 60% reduction since 2008. It's also below 3% of the U.S. GDP, which is a measure of the total economic output of the United States, and it's a standard measured used by other countries to indicate economic viability. It's also below the 40-year running average for the U.S. deficit, which is great news. Lew and Donovan cite that this is a return to fiscal normacy. That lower deficit means a more stable economy. They cite that over 10 million new jobs have been created because of this stable economy in the last 55 months. But no matter how much progress has been made, they say it's important to continue to invest in the future to ensure that the economy keeps on growing and recovering. They suggest investing in both infrastructure and education to ensure job growth. They also cite success in healthcare cost control rather. Projections only 2 years ago are now $200 billion lower because of healthcare cost control, specifically the Affordable Care Act, they cite. Additionally, they want to stress the importance that stock market instability is not necessarily an indicator of economic instability. They say it's important not to tie hour-by-hour market movements to the general well-being of the economy. It's not necessarily related to those core economic measures of success, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And those measures have shown a consistent improvement over the last half year. And even Wall Street analysts agree, though, that the primary economic indicators have been positive. According to Wall Street Journal's David Hall, economic measures showing signs of stability and even growth have been reported over the entire last year. Specifically, he cites 3 key economic indicators. GDP grew at a seasonally adjusted 3.2% in the fourth quarter last year, or this year rather. Quarter 3 and quarter 4 growth put together, the best growth we've seen since 2003. Another great indicator of economic stability is consumer spending, which is also up almost 3.3%. Finally, U.S. exports are also up 11.4%, which is the greatest increase we've seen in 3 years. So, we've seen that the general public, government officials, and even Wall Street analysts are seeing the road to recovery, and with it, all the signs of a stable, growing economy. Though things aren't exactly the way they were 6 or 7 years ago, we're continually seeing improvement. As long as these indicators remain positive, there's no reason to doubt that the end of the recession is finally here and that U.S. economic stability is on its way.